that, we got a game going on. It is the second Winnerbracket quarterfinal, and this determines who will face Happy in the next round, who already defeated Craft and Labyrinth. Colorful just defeated 15 Sway, and he's meeting HawK now, who threw Chemico down into the lower bracket. These guys are facing each other now in yet another human versus Night Elf. It is Russia versus China, and here are your warriors, both long-time contestants in the international Warcraft scene. Both have played multiple WGLs. Cool to see that Colorful is also playing here on the more Western-favored servers, as HawK was playing on Netties for a long time. He knows how it is to be in the shoes of Colorful now. So little ping advantage to HawK, but shape should go to Colorful. So super exciting match. We move on to, once again, Last Refuge.
Yeah, this is going to be the first series with a really standard map pool, whereas we had Shallow Grave partly in the map pool before. We didn't see it played out once, but it would have been played if it had been a 2-1 between Colorful and 15 Sway. Here now we're going to have Last Refuge, Autumn Leaves, and Echo Isle. So very standard, very much known maps. We know what to expect, and what we have to expect here is the Beastmaster. And it's going to be interesting to contrast and compare, if you will, between what HawK is doing here and what 15 Sway was doing earlier. It was quite unusual to go for this instant expansion into Harass by 15 Sway, so I think now Colorful should happen again, would be more ready. But knowing HawK, he's kind of a by-the-book kind of guy. Normally he doesn't go too crazy, so I would expect by him much more of a normal Mercamp creep this time around.
I would have liked to see a macro game on Shallow Grave, though. Hopefully we can see that later into the tournament, because we kind of saw like the least map-oriented strategy possible, which is Lich attacking into a Lich. So hopefully we can see more of like this matchup, on that map. That would be nice for sure. And HawK actually go for the Mercenary Camp first, which of course is going to be good against the Beastmaster. You get those priests early on, but it's going to be a much later expansion. But I would say this is, as you point out, more by the book from HawK.
Yeah, and what this also means that the Beastmaster is going to get level 3 freely. Something that 15 Sway early was able to prevent with that aggression. Slowed down level 3 Beastmaster tremendously and put him in a really good position in that game before I unfortunately lost the lead. This time around, HawK is going to creep 2 or 3 camps into Expo and then maybe continue creeping from there, which the Beastmaster is going to make use of. In the meantime, creeping himself. This is, by the way, the reason why Beastmaster is so good on this map. It's just simply creeping. You can creep the Merc camp better with a Beastmaster than any other hero in the game for Night Elf. As you can see right here, instant level 2 for the Beastmaster, gonna get the Mercs right away. And the normal damage here and also the tank ability beyond this camp is what helps out the Night Elf quite a bit. And Remo the Magi is actually really good for the Beastmaster. Yeah. More mana, more summons, and more efficient Moonwell recovery.
Yeah, it's pretty good for the Beastmaster. Not quite as good as HawK's items thus far, but still going to be very, very nice, of course, for that Beastmaster. I mean, yeah, you could argue maybe Sobi Mask, but like still any mana items, so you have a constant influx of summons is going to be excellent. But of course, the damage is going to be great for HawK. The level 3 is also going to be great for HawK. As I pointed out, his expansion is going to be severely delayed. Now, I'm wondering if Colorful is going to go for more this aggressive 1-base style, or of course, you can go into more macro 2-base games with the Beastmaster. So I'm wondering what Colorful is going to go for. Of course, we know that HawK is just going to try to get tier 2 and try to get that big tier 2 army while sort of delaying the tech. But if Colorful wants to go for an expansion now, it's going to be very difficult because the Archmage is already level 3. So it's going to be difficult to build that. And actually, there's only, am I seeing this wrong? There's literally only 2 Moonwells currently for Colorful. He hasn't built that 3rd or 4th Moonwell yet. And now there's potential for HawK to really do a lot of harass.
Well, the Shadow Priest is a bit out of position. Normally you want to be able to use the Abolish here and get that level 3 guaranteed. Slight mistake by Colorful, just mispositioning that Frail unit a bit. Beastmaster plus 11 intelligence. That is pretty crazy. Doesn't want to use the cast of the next summon yet because he wants to get that level 3 first. And is going to get it over here at the green. But first little move by HawK, slowing down the expansion attempt quite a bit and takes out the Ancient of War. That's another big one.
Town is under siege.
Yeah, and the 3rd Moonwell only now coming up, but of course there's enough Moonwell mana for Colorful to recover at least that Beastmaster. And now the Hunter's Hall is also coming up. The expansion, better late than never, will be up right about now. So HawK is, you know, pretty stable. He went for a very early defend, and he can go for maybe a second barracks quite early, probably after that tech, get a second barracks and start pumping out those footmen. And he's going around the outside to pressure what he hopes to be coming up lures very soon. I imagine that's what he's going for. But Colorful might be going into the expansion pretty soon to go do some pressure. There's a bear going in, and there's only a single Shadow Priest. Okay, the rest of the army goes back now, and these double Shadow Priests will have more than enough Abolish Magics. Did he just misclick the Abolish Magic on his footman?
Dude,
yeah.
I've been playing a bit more Shadow Priest lately, and I noticed it's way easier to misclick these things than I thought. Because I'm not used to that Shadow Priest dispel targeting stuff, you know. But yeah, it can happen, even to the best of them, at times. Archmage experience here is going to be very valuable. If you can trade favorably here and get a fast level 4, that's always tremendous. But losing the Berserker right away, ooh, that's painful. Colorful mispositioned slightly his Shadow Priest earlier. Now HawK mispositioned his Berserker, and that's most of his army damage from the backline. Trying to get more kills. Look at the experience bar. Archmage level 4. That's the big one.
There's no Dust of Appearance, unfortunately. HawK could always send some into the lab, but these archers would be the ideal thing to be focusing on right now. The Berserker's going to make its way out. These archers still out of position, though. It's not quite daytime, but it will be soon if Colorful doesn't move on. He's, of course, in doing this push, he's keeping his lures safe back at home and enabling himself to go straight to tier 3. So a similar style to what we saw against 15 Sway is what Colorful's doing this time around as well. And for now, he's just trying to lower the amount of footmen. But of course, 15 Sway didn't go for a ton of footmen himself in that match previously, whereas HawK is continuing to produce them now.
All waiting for daytime. Once the rooster alerts us to daytime, we're going to have new mercenaries becoming available. Oh, shop going down would be painful. Arcane Tower does good mana burn damage, but the bear is still super healthy. Oh, Bash coming in against the AM. It's probably going to have to TP out here. Another Bash. Oh, no, not again. HawK. Oof. 10 HP. There was a very tragic game for a WGL qualifier against Foggy once where he literally lost the game because of an untimely Bash. And now he's stuck in the main base. He's walled off, can't get out. But I think one tree should free him.
There's a priest available, and he could build a shop in the main base as well. I think he should definitely be buying that next priest though, to at least start healing up his Archmage here, because he's not going to have a shop for a long, long time. It was yet again canceled. And this isn't even the beginning of the aggression from Colorful. He's going to transition into bears, and again, we're going to see that constant fighting, constant attempting to not really trade, just attempting to get efficiency without really losing much for Colorful, because of course we haven't seen an attempted expansion yet from him, so probably going to be pretty similar. Okay, there's the priest to heal up the Archmage a little bit. I'm wondering what the second hero choice for HawK is going to be. Are we going to see that Panda like we saw from 15 Sway? Are we going to see something like a Naga or an Alchemist? We'll have to wait, but you know, Panda wouldn't be a bad choice, I feel.
Yeah, I like the Panda quite a bit. We've seen some Blood Mages in the past, but the second hero from the altars always feels like it takes forever to come out. We have a Water Elemental in the middle. Tier 2 is finished. HawK by no means has been playing a bad game here, but it's a few mistakes here and there. Some army mispositioning, the shop being too late, the main base being walled off. Things are starting to add up a bit, and this pressure is gonna start mounting here more and more. Lots of gold though for HawK. He can produce soon, but again, farms missing. The macro for HawK really slipping here at parts.
Yeah, farms and lumber, it seems like. He's getting 2 Arcane Sanctums up. He has the Blacksmith for rifles, but he's currently only got Footman in the Panda. The Priest is going to fall. That means the summons will rain. But the Breath of Fire is decent, and there's a plenty of defend Footman, and there's pretty much only piercing damage if this bear does not completely carry right now.
The Shadow Priest died with full mana. Didn't use the dispels on the bear, and he just followed around the Archmage because he was on heal. That also, again, could have been moved a bit better. HawK struggling now because of the mistakes he's making against the WGL champion, and Colorful is finding tons of damage with the little holes of weakness that HawK is displaying.
And the Rejuve is going to make this trade so efficient as Colorful approaches level 4 and the Beastmaster level 3 on the Naga. The Naga taking a little bit of damage, but there's always Rejuve to help him out. Of course, the Breakers probably will soon be produced after the first couple of Priests to steal maybe that rejuvenation away. The Bear is not yet mastered, but did it just pop? Yeah, just popped just now. So now the Bear Bust can come into full effect, and the Naga, that intelligence that was once on the Beastmaster, is now helping out that Naga a ton. 510 mana and plus 14 damage without Roar even. So this is quite the powerful Naga, now with that Orb as well. And HawK just trying to hold on for as long as he can. He's going to need a couple of minutes here to really get a strong army.
The 54 supply farm just finished a moment ago, and HawK again almost supply stuck. How greedy is HawK gonna be? How long is he gonna sit at 50 supply? The positioning by Colorful here is great, sitting between the two bases, making it very hard for the armies to meet up for HawK. Oh, one bear getting caught. There should be a staff though. Yes, there is. That bear getting saved, and we saw earlier how Colorful was able to save so many of his bears in the game against 15 Sway.
A lot of militia going down, though. The lumber problem has kind of been solved, though, and there's a counter expansion coming up for Colorful, so this isn't the end of the road for him if he cannot do a ton of damage right now. It seems like HawK is slowly but surely holding on, but the Beastmaster is only getting higher and higher level, and soon we're going to have that Blink Bash Bear, and that's a terrifying thing when the Adept is only now being researched for HawK.
Yeah, everything just seems a bit late. The Priest a bit late, the Dispel a bit late, the Rifles a bit late, just building an army a bit late. Still 1,200 gold for HawK. We talked about it earlier. It's important to get to 60 and 70 supply fast, so you finally can stop getting bullied. But HawK also not able to get there right away. But he has a lot of army queued, and his supply is going to shoot up in just a moment.
Yeah, if he doesn't get supply blocked again, is he building a farm? Okay, he's building one farm at the expansion, so he's going to be able to at least get up to 60 supply, but that's not the golden number. You want to get up to the 70, so... In the meantime, Colorful's definitely going to be able to secure his expansion, but maybe after the expansion gets up and saturated for Colorful, maybe then HawK will have a timing to go for a push. Gets a push or greater mana from the shop. Is going to get level 2 on the Panda, and Colorful not fully healed up just yet, but he does have the second Orb of Venom now as well.
For the heal scroll, double heal scroll for HawK, very nice for the sustain, but the DPS of the army just isn't so scary yet. It's still a very small army indeed, and now 59 supply, and he is supply blocked. Only now the farm coming up. Fog Lightning finds a target. Lots of the Wild Seer suffering quite a bit now. The Bear is still very good. HawK on a TP out right here, trying to minimize the losses, but the bash from the Raging Bear coming in once again, taking out that Rifleman. HawK also, by the way, never remade the Peasants in the main. And he's stuck behind his own farms. No, actually, he can get out right here.
Yeah, I thought he was entirely stuck there. I was like, oh god, I thought both heroes were trapped. But okay, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, the panic farm's almost coming back to bite him. But a nice TP by HawK. But we see at the end of that town portal, like you pointed out, just how fast that rifle died to the double orb bash and the bear focus fire. It's pretty much got one shot. So this tier 2 army only becomes more and more vulnerable the longer the game goes on, and the game's already been going on for quite a while, and HawK still at 55 supply only, now with no bank. He managed to get up to 59, but now Colorful's going to be the one with the much stronger, much bigger army probably very soon.
Human army complements itself really well between breakers, rifles, sorks, and priests. So once you get up to 75, maybe even 80 supply, a lot of things are doable, especially with heal scrolls. But 2 heal scrolls were used before. HawK now got a... Or is that still the one from earlier? I'm not sure. But HawK again moving out, looking for the fight. Before he has that big army. 63 supply. Colorful, I think, gladly is going to take this engagement right now. The Book of the Dead, though. Oh, that's actually a good summon. No Wisps here to help against this, and the Dryad Dispel not sufficient. This fight actually looking quite good for HawK. I take my words back. A lot of the bears were hurt as well. And takes out one bear right there. And HawK now, if he wants, can creep the red camp or can even push towards the expansion.
Yeah, and Panda's finding his footing now as well. He gets level 3. He's finding a ton of damage as well. And there is a heal scroll for Colorful, but he might need more than that. And with that, maybe HawK could pull ahead and supply even more than he already has. Currently up 12 supply, trying to push the tempo with this Book of the Dead. But maybe he needs to push it towards that expansion as opposed to pushing towards the main base. The positioning was the shop. There's Moonwell mana here for Colorful, but the army of HawK looks very healthy currently, and that's a nice breath. But now the Panda out of mana, and the Dryads and the Archers have such nice positioning here.
No more teams to punish these Dryads. The workshop getting skipped more and more by these human players, as we saw today already. Bears in the front line pretty much all now have been taken out, but the Fog Lightning damage starting to stack up. So is the Orb of Venom here over time. And like a level 4, it might be time for some Mana Shield, in fact. Getting slowed, getting forced back. The Bears coming out now with a double rejuve, a godsend.
Yeah, that's so nice. The healing on that Naga. The Naga is quite the carry. Another Fork Lightning could mean a couple of kills, but the Priests are doing quite good work also for HawK. He's managed to heal up. He's getting some bear kills. Level 5 on the Archmage. Is that level 3 Water Elementals? It was level 3 Aura, of course, for that Panda to continue to carry. There's one more breath available now. The Bear is resummoned, but the Priests, they should have decent mana, actually quite low mana on all the Priests for HawK. He might have to get out soon, but he's finding a lot of kills in the meantime.
Yeah, HawK. He was suffering this whole game, but suddenly he turns it around, as so often. Once Human gets to 70 supply with a couple of scrolls, they do have a very strong army, and Colorful's army, in contrast, not quite big enough yet. Perhaps the counter expansion a bit too late. Naga almost dropping there. Heal potion needed. Moonwell's needed. He does have Wellspring upgrade, but HawK is pushing forward. Still has a sizable army here. No heal scroll anymore though. So this could also a bit sketchy for HawK here if he stays in too long.
Yeah, twice now HawK in this fight has been very close to losing 3-4 units, but just when Colorful needs to stay in for an extra second, HawK does enough damage to force the heroes out. And then the Priest managed to heal everything back up. Here, that really low breaker back up to half HP. The Bears now rejuve, though. The positioning yet again good for Colorful. And the Panda's out of mana. So is this now where Colorful holds? It seems like he's been so close to holding for so long. But this may be where HawK has to back away, but not without, you know, definitely pulling ahead there for a minute.
Level 3 Blink Bash Bear trying its best, but we have some Dispels coming in as well. It has been dealt with. 5 Bears still standing. HawK desperately needs a heal scroll. Is there one in the shop? He's going to take a look. Praying, hoping, pleading. Indeed there is. Buys it. Next one on cooldown for 60 seconds. It's going to have huge value. And with that he can re-engage.
It saves the Rifleman with Invis, saves the Sork that saved the Rifleman with the heal scroll, and not losing as much as he definitely could have there. This is a difficult fight for both players. The Panda has double potion of vulnerability. Might need to use one of those soon. A couple of Bears getting very low, but the Staves is saving so many units for Colorful throughout this game, and a couple of rifles starting to fall, but the Bears are getting lower and lower, Remo. Oh, the Panda's going to be forced into a potion of vulnerability, but he still stands, and at the end of the day, HawK just has more stuff. Much more.
Just be able to finish this one out. The next heal scroll should be ready in just a second. I would love to see, I know it sounds wild, but Backpack could be pretty sick. Behind this, by the way, we have tier 3 as well for HawK, so even if he doesn't win the game right here, he's going to have huge upgrades coming in soon with a third hero. Probably Paladin, or maybe Blood Mage, and of course those massive training upgrades. Inner Fire especially could be tremendous. Colorful's holding on well, but there's a big difference between surviving and winning.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, you know, level 5 Naga would be a great upgrade. Level 6 Beastmaster, there's nothing to really stop the Stampede, so that could help out a ton for Colorful, but for now he needs units, and he's still down by 20 supply, and like you pointed out, Tier 3 is underway, so soon we're going to have a ton of big upgrades that are going to go toe-to-toe with the Tier 3 army of Colorful. Wisps come in to detonate, and the Priest mana hasn't been as healthy as it once was, but there's still a decent amount of Dispels. One Bear going to fall in the front, one Breaker getting quite low, but it just seems like Colorful might be running out of steam here with this Protection Scroll as well now for HawK.
Yeah, in this extended engagement, the level 3 Brilliance Aura has just been doing so much work. Even with the Wisp running in, there's still easily enough Dispel left over. And Colorful's going to call for the GG, taps out. HawK had him in the heel hook right there and finishes the job. Wonderful 1-0 lead for the Russian.
Man, this comes as quite a surprise to me, at least. I thought for sure Colorful is gonna take this, but the deadly 70 supply human push once again, even without mortars, even without looking too great in the mid game. I'm always baffled when I see 1,000 gold, no lumber. There were so many peasants getting slaughtered. I'm really surprised that Colorful couldn't pick up on this, on all the kills and the damage he did in the mid game, and was crumbling to this. But yeah, that retreat into heal scroll, what a clutch play that was by HawK. Saved him the game.
Yeah, there were a few times that kind of happened in that one fight towards the main base where HawK was about to lose so much and he just scrapes by. So often can you snowball, you lose like a couple of breakers and then your front line's gone, you can't get rid of the rejuve, the Bears come back in with at least like 70% health, and you're just trying to tank with rifles, and you know you've used all your heal scrolls. You can easily run out of steam if you lose those couple of extra units every time you're trading, but HawK keeps just enough alive to hold on. He gets that level 3 Brilliance Aura like Remo pointed out, and just really nicely played. I didn't think he was going to be able to push up to 70 supply and still make that timing work. But apparently, as long as you hold on, it doesn't matter how much you lose in the early game.
That's very true.
I think Colorful played a bit of a wrong late game strategy here. He tried to rely heavily on his tier 3, even with late expansion, and hoping for the heroes to carry him. But he didn't have the carry late game heroes. He had a Beastmaster and a Naga. Great for early game / mid game pressure, but they will fall off later. I think what would have been better here for him would be to delay tier 3 and pressure heavily on tier 2, creating space, like he was able to do, and expand earlier on tier 2. But he decided to expand later instead, and had a big problem for that reason, getting up to that very high supply. So I think he could have done that a bit better, but I very much as well, like you, Neo, thought that HawK was in huge trouble that game, but just tenacity showing through here over that whole game, and survive until finally you can be the one to bring it back. And this Panda against Bears, I think, is looking stronger and stronger the more we see it. Yeah, Breath of Fire doesn't kill them right away, but you can have many Breath of Fire to use over time. And if you throw in a bit of Drunken Haze, that mischance against the Bears is also going to be quite impactful.
Ah, you do appreciate the mischance nowadays.
If there's no Dispel on the other side, sure. The Dryads are never going to have enough Dispel usually to deal with all of that.
Yeah, you don't want to use all the wisps for that as well. Absolutely on your side there as well, Mr. Remo Demo. You know who's on our all side? The community, because they keep on contributing to the prize pool. We have Freddy with a big $50. Thank you, Freddy. We also have Mr. Shiggy. We love Shiggy with the Let's Go $5 donation. Christopher with a $15, and Tim Jin with the $5 War3Champions Discord donor roll. Thank you guys so much for 3,666, the number of the beast. Does that scare you, Remo?
Well, I drench myself in holy water every day, so no.
Is that right? You like Iron Maiden, though? You gotta like that song. Even if you don't like Iron Maiden, you gotta like that song.
Can you imagine Remo headbanging?
It's a classic. Absolute classic.
It is a classic. Doesn't but you like it though? Can you imagine yourself in a?
You know, it's in the right setting, in the right mood. It's a pretty good song, yeah.
Okay,
solid.
I gotta figure out until we meet again next time offline. What's the setting, and how do I get you in the mood to listen to rocket metal? And then we headbang together. Maybe we mosh a little, Remo.
You guys can both grow your hair out
we're gonna
a little bit.
We're gonna buy some Fuxy beer. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm gonna.
Do you guys have that in America? Fuxy beer. It's like this pretty cheap, huge 1 liter can of beer from like Norway or something.
Denmark,
which is kind of gross, but it's also a classic.
We got 40s of OE. This malt liquor. It's 8%. It's real cheap. That's what we got here. I don't know. We don't have that though. That's for sure. We do have lots of European beer though.
Remo, do you remember one of the first times we went to China? We went to a supermarket. I wanted to get, I guess, beers, and then they got Faxe actually as premium export or premium import beer or something. They sold this like it's the best thing ever because it comes from Europe. Actually pretty shit, but hey, what do they know about European beer? It's totally fine. We don't complain about our stuff here as well, like the Baijiu we import or something. Well, yeah, that was, as a German, that was quite fun. Not so much fun was the late game for Colorful. He can try this again on one of the best Night Elf maps there is in the pool. This one is match points for HawK, and this one is Autumn Leaves.
Yeah, some people, including myself, may have gotten a bit ahead of themselves. I thought it was going to be Colorful here moving through, and then Colorful versus Happy for the Intercontinental show-off. But no, not the case here. HawK might be able to move through and meet Happy in the next round, which might be a rough one for him. But we'll see if we get there. This map might be a lot better for Colorful. He's going to be going with the Keeper here this time around and playing the new Night of Opening. Ancient of War over at the Merchant. It's a bit hard to creep. It's going to take some Wisp Prepare, but it does give you an instant level 2, which is great to have, and puts you in an amazing position if the human is instant expanding, which is kind of like the Chimiko playstyle of things, but I think HawK is once again a lot more considered and safe in the early game, and will be going for a bit of normal creeping first before the expo.
Yeah, I like this Ancient War at the shop. I've always liked it. Like the first little while this map was out, I was thinking like, you know, people could build an Ancient War here. I think this would be good. You can eat through the trees like old Twisted Meadows and go for the lab at the mercenary camp. You can also build the Ancient War at the Murloc Orange camp. You can build it like just right next to the water, and it doesn't aggro. So there's a lot of interesting adaptations. I like that Night Elves are doing different Ancient War creeps because it just feels underwhelming to do the green with the wolf, and it also feels a little bit inefficient to do the expansion because you have to build it so far away. So I quite like that, and I like the fact that you're maybe able to get a clause of attack here as well. I thought Colorful was going to lose his Ancient War there for a second as I was saying that, but he's all right. He's all right. One Wisp is more than enough, and now HawK goes towards the expansion, and the Wisp scouts it. But what do you think about HawK going for this expansion as opposed to the corner?
I never see anybody ever going to the corner. It seems like a creepable expansion, but of course it's harder to do. Instantly on the Watch Elemental. Ooh, that's going to result in more damage on these peasants as well, and Colorful is here right away to show up and put in some damage. He even bought a circler to double down in the early game aggression. Colorful, very much a player who oftentimes in the early game tries to do a ton of damage. Has even been playing a bit of Huntresses lately in the early game. Not this time around though. Doesn't need him. He's killing so many peasants already, and boy oh boy, is this a rough start for the Russian.
I have actually seen Colorful on this map, when he does a lot of damage to the expansion initially, just go into, it seems weird, just pure archer with a Naga second and just continued pressure with like 8 archers, and then transition into tier 3 later. That's something I've seen him do. He's beaten, I think it was Moon with that strategy recently. We'll see if he does that now. He's gotten certainly a lot of damage done already. Is it enough to justify that weird of a strat? I don't know. For now, though, he's going to continue to kill a ton of peasants. This is definitely not the opener you want for HawK, especially considering how easy this expansion is to actually creep.
I look at the damage he's putting on the AM. I love this. Keeper's probably going to have to TP out here, but he's going to be able to heal up with a TP, or maybe just staff out. For the AM, it's going to be a lot harder. And if the Keeper here gets level 3, which he's not close to right now, but if he does, then this AM is going to have to be super scared. He needs to build a tower, he needs to build an expansion, he needs to build a shop, but there's only so many resources you can work with.
Yeah, this is very good. And wait, he's grabbing the mercenaries. Okay, I've seen people do this before. Of course, he's not going to creep this. Going to get the berserker. Yeah, this is getting scarier and scarier, especially like you mentioned, if that Keeper manages to get level 3, which maybe he get close to off of one camp on his way back to the expansion. But it's definitely very tempting for Colorful to heal up and immediately continue the pressure, immediately run over to maybe try to lower the numbers of footmen. But we'll see if he decides to creep or pressure even more here. Hasn't built a counter expansion just yet, but of course, you don't need to build the counter expansion right away. You can continue to go forward, which the Keeper will, and that Archmage is still less than half HP, and the Entangle, although not level 2, could definitely find a Force Town Portal on that Archmage.
Tier 2, about to finish, should be a Tavern Hero 100%. Well, I guess we have seen a lot more Demon Hunter coming back into the mix again, but this does feel like a Tavern purchase here for Colorful. Chasing after these footies. Is it the Naga? Indeed it is. Oh, Cold Arrow has a few more footman kills. Already before the Keeper gets to level 3 here, lots of footmen are going down. The pressure is going to keep mounting.
It's actually no Hunter Salt either. It's not mass archers. There's only 4 archers and a berserker, but he's getting improved bows, and unless I'm missing... Oh, he must have forgotten the Hunter Salt? Because he's building it now, Remo Demo.
Yeah, he was kind of low resources, so he couldn't afford all of it. But yeah, these lures are certainly going to be a bit delayed. You want to throw some early Dryads into this if you can, for even more chase, for even more catch, for even more map control. HawK now has to defend with Militia. He's got the shop up early, which is very important. That one I feel like early on Last Refuge was a bit late. But with the Militia needed here, it's going to cut into his lumber once again. Still not taking to tier 2 as HawK.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of peasants thus far and continuing to lose more with that Militia, but the Militia definitely are a necessary evil at this stage in the game. The level 3 Archmage, a little bit out of mana, but maybe the shop could help remedy that in the future. The Keeper, no entangles, 1 more kill and he'll level up, and then he will have at least, you know, a little bit extra mana here. And maybe this entangle will be spent on the Archmage. Remember, no potions available. He gets back behind the safety of the Arcane Tower. A footman will pay the price. That's gonna mean close to level 3 Keeper. 1 more kill on anything in the map would do it. Maybe the Water Elemental could do it. And the Lord.
This Berserker has been crazy effective, by the way.
Yeah. So
the damage this Berserker has been putting in, absolutely crazy. Without it, this would have been a lot less scary. One more kill there, resulting in double level up for Colorful, who's going tier 3, now making double lore. It's kind of reminiscent to the old Lawliot style, with just Keeper, Naga, Archer, Pressure, fast tier 3. And back then it would be Mountain Giants, but in this day and age, it's going to be Bears coming in the late game. Again, the counter expansion for Colorful, if he goes for it, is going to be quite late. But with the damage he's done here, I think it should be still fine enough.
Yeah, he has yet to lose anything. I don't even think he's really detonated a wisp yet this game. This is just all pure damage so far. The Archmage, see, cut level 3 and nothing more thus far. And all the footmen have been spent so far. The tech is underway and HawK has continued to build footmen. You're definitely going to lose some footmen to make the omelet that is this expansion, but has he broken too many eggs, Remo Demo?
Well, you know, map 1 already was kind of like a Christ-like journey with lots of suffering in the early game. But in the end, it did work out still. You know, once all the tools come online, once all those cogs nicely mesh into each other, the human army is going to be strong. The question is just, when's that going to be the case? When are you going to come online? And are you going to be super far behind? At that point, as long as Night Elf doesn't have a second base, it's all still very much winnable, and Colorful is one of those Night Elves who will delay that expansion quite a bit to get his lovely, lovely bears out first.
Yeah, for sure. And he's going to have them very, very soon. He's got a couple on the way. He's waiting for that Orb of Venom right now, of course. And the tier 2 about to finish for HawK. I'm wondering, is this a situation where you go for that Panda again? Do you go for a counter Naga? Do you go for a Blood Mage, Mountain King? What do you go for here? I think there's plenty of options, but he might want to go for the immediate option, which would be a Tavern Hero, just to be able to pressure a little bit more, because the bears are coming in for rejuve. The Orb of Venom is coming in as well for added damage, and the pressure isn't going to stop here. Yeah, there's the Panda for HawK. I think that's an excellent choice. Beautiful
first breath, doing tons of damage there against the archers and everything else. Balloon's Grace protecting them a bit, but still, they feel it certainly with their low HP pool. One archer does go down, and there we go. The Breath of Fire is going to have pretty much 3 of them right away, thanks to the Brilliance Aura. Takes out the Engine of War also, which is going to make creeping the middle camps more difficult. And this is, despite how costly this is for HawK, I think he has to be this aggressive. You cannot afford to give away both middle camps here to the Night Elf too easily.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, you need to be able to creep those eventually for the Panda and stuff, and you can't allow the bears to just continue to pressure. And there's not a lot of towers up at the expansion either, so if HawK went down to creep like his bottom right for the Panda right now, the expansion would just be broken. So he's really got to continue to be aggressive, and he's getting the double Arcane Sanctums up now. His lumber isn't that bad, actually, surprisingly. Despite how many peasants have gone down in this game, he's able to power build the Sanctums, and now he's going to be a little bit low on lumber. He's getting, yeah, long rifles is where that went into, but the breath continues to damage these archers. Potion Force because of level 2 Entangle. The Panda might fall. It's only level 1, but you definitely want to keep it alive for the experience you may gain while it's dead. One bear maybe going to fall, though.
Oh, walks back into range, HawK. That was clear, Miss Micro. The Panda could have just sat there behind, waited for the potion to cool down, but the hero goes, yeah, kaput. Gonna have to be remade. It's gonna be back pretty soon. Long rifle's finally finished, but more casters are needed, more breakers are needed. But this bear bust might just be finishing the game beforehand.
Mana pot on the Archmage. I can't remember the last time I've seen a potion of mana be used on an Archmage, but another water elemental would be great here. There's, of course, no Dryads, no Abolish, no Wisps here, so more water elementals might be the key to barely holding on, but these bears are healing up, and where are the reinforcements? The Panda's going to be out soon, but it's going to be difficult. Town portal away. There's still 2 towers up, but they're soon to be broken by the bears.
And for these aggressive as well as defensive plays that we saw earlier, the double rejuve, which is so good. In comes a new bear, in comes double rejuve again. That's more than 800 healing every time. Towers are broken, and so might be HawK.
He's going to have to evacuate, but all the peasants will die. The shop trying to be rebuilt. There's about 3 rifles and a priest. How much can you micro this tiny army for HawK? We'll see. I mean, he did hold on miraculously last game, but the odds seem to be against him even more than they were before. The Panda forced him to another potion of healing. The shop is up again, but the potion will be on cooldown. And the Archmage is low himself. Double Water Elemental is actually finding quite good damage. The bears are starting to get low. Is there reinforcements? There's 1 Dryad coming in. everything's starting to get low for Colorful. Can HawK hold on at least for now? But Panda's definitely going to fall again.
Does the Naga turn around? One more cold arrow. Not even needed. Try to transfer something. Did he? No, not really. Didn't have anything to transfer, actually. And yeah, HawK does survive, just barely scraping by with everything that he can. And Colorful, yeah, he's done a lot of damage, but he's also super all in. There's no transition here. There's no second base, which is normally what you need. Colorful, once again, feeling very aggressive, as he oftentimes is. Much more so that kind of player than a Foggy or a Moon would be. And that comes at a risk. Whenever you go all in, you may not make it work. And if HawK has a few more minutes here to stabilize, this is still a winnable game for him.
Yeah, similar to the position that we saw HawK in last game, he took much more damage this game, of course. And the starting heroes are different, but the only difference between this game is Colorful didn't go for that very late expansion. In fact, I think if he was emulating his strategy from last game, he'd go for an expansion in maybe the next minute or something and allow HawK to get up to that 70 supply. But for now, at least the supplies are even. HawK has not much bank, but again, relating it to last game, he didn't have much of a bank at this stage last game either. He's going to get Panda level 2, almost Archmage. He actually gets the Book of the Dead as well. Again, we remember how effective that was. There's no Wisps around. The Dryad takes a lot of damage to start things off. HawK's got a kite for his life here in game 2.
Yeah, this Book of the Dead pretty handy right now, but honestly, the bears have so much damage. They take it out pretty quickly. The Roar is active, plus 9 damage everywhere. Expansion is laid bare. And with that, the Treants now gonna rain their chaos over there. HawK has to fall back towards the main, but no shop there to use the Region Scroll. Panda finally gets level 2. He's out of mana. Not the most impactful level, really. Peasants fighting against the Treants, and they're losing that fight.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of Treants. And there's almost enough mana for another set as well. The Panda comes back in, but no mana on his side. There's a lot of slow here available. The Dryad, unfortunately for HawK, was not focused down quick enough before, so it's still up for abolish on maybe a couple of these bears. One bear going to fall level 4 in the Archmage. That's a nice upgrade, because of course he did go for level 2 water elementals previously. The bears starting to take a decent amount of damage. The Panda needs to get level 3, though, to really be able to carry this, and he's just going to die for the 3rd time this game. HawK needs to keep this Panda alive, Remo.
Hard to do. Normally the great thing about the Panda is also, as a second hero, you have a good frontline tank. Unlike the Blood Mage, for example, or the Naga. But if he's underleveled, if he's getting pressured all the time, he's going to be in trouble. But so are these normal bears. The Druids of the Claw getting chased away. One of them went down just a second ago. 4 more are very hurt, going to make it back home. And going to try to heal up from the Moonwell. So we do have Wellspring upgrade now. That's going to help, but it's going to take a lot of juice to get these bad boys back into shape.
Yeah, it seems like the Panda every time is just a sacrificial lamb for HawK to hold on. He loses the Panda, and then Colorful has to back away. He loses the Panda, Colorful has to back away. But in the meantime, the Panda's not getting experience. This is why we see the Archmage almost level 5, and the Panda barely off the ground of level 2, and this is a big deal. I mean, the supply is growing, though. We're kind of seeing a repeat of last game, aren't we? Like, HawK is getting to the supply differential that he needs to be at to be able to win this tier 2 against tier 3 fight. And he's got double heal scroll now. This is all of a sudden, despite the Panda underleveled and being dead currently, not looking bad at all for HawK.
Yeah, this is pretty sick by HawK. Like, he might get a, what's it called, National Geographic series soon about his survival skills. This is pretty amazing. He's seen down and out many times over, but he keeps on holding on, just like game 1. This time it was looking even more dire. And Colorful's time is running out. I'm looking at the hourglass, and there's not much sand left in it.
One bear already fell. The Dryad fell as well. The Panda comes in. The Haze is quite effective. Another Dryad mismicroed, as it seems, and there's double heal scroll still available. HawK is just winning this fight. Heal scroll is super effective there. 2 more bears fall. There's just not a lot of mana left. There's not a lot of hope left for Colorful. This is crazy from HawK.
Wow. What a comeback once again by HawK. Gonna force the GG. 2-0 for HawK. He just will not die. He will not fall to the pressure. He holds on, and in the end, the 2 base is gonna push him through. And Colorful, very, very stubborn, just refusing to go for the counter expansion, just trying to close out the game, will fail and drop to the lower bracket.
Man, the WGL Summer Champion eliminated from the winner bracket. Russia dominates these winner bracket games so far. We get Happy versus HawK in a best of 3, not in a best of 5 as so often before. And if I'm not mistaken, the second server was not the Russian one, right? That felt a little laggy to me, so Did they switch servers in between?
Oh, I didn't notice, actually.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. I think it was the same server.
I'm not too sure, but okay, that was pretty sick, man. I don't understand this matchup anymore. Like, in both games, I thought, okay, Colorful got this, Colorful got this, Colorful got... no, and HawK won. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think, like, an earlier counter expansion probably would have been the best bet both games for Colorful. The first game, it was just too late, and the second game, it was, of course, non-existent. But I think just counter expanding behind the extremely good early game that he had, after killing all those footies, he's got the experience lead, he's got the tech lead, everything would be in his favor. So I think really the downfall of Colorful is just, like Remo said, being too stubborn to just not counter expand. And if you're not going to break that expansion with the Bears, you have to counter expand.
In the lower bracket,
especially on this map as well, you can easily put the Tree of Life between your natural and the main. It's super safe there. You have full map control. You're going to stay on Dryads a bit longer, but that's okay. With the Dryad map control, you're also going to be able to get both middle camps super easy and then keep poking if you want, or go more into heavy creeping or look for creep jacks. So many options, but Colorful just pretty uninspired, I gotta say. It's time to watch some Moon replays, Colorful.
It's always been the case, right? The big creativity and being able to adjust to certain situations was not really his strength ever. He's not perfect by any means, but it's cool to see that HawK is not getting squashed, as I certainly expected in both of the matches here that he played so far. But 2-0 Chemico, 2-0 Colorful. Good to see. Wasn't without flaws, but it was enough. Certainly enough. Wasn't enough for Kraft, by the way, who in the lower bracket was eliminated already. Those games can be seen at Todd's stream. 2-0 by HawK. And 15 Sway currently is leading with the 1-0 versus Chemico. So one of the best humans in the world facing elimination. Our next match is gonna be the winner bracket semi-final. Who advances into this winner bracket final is the big question, everybody. Happy versus HawK it is. And before that, before we move on to that, we have to thank a couple of people because we got some support here. I don't really remember where we left off, but I'm trying to guess. Pete has streams, thank you for the 7-month. Congo Junk, 43-month. Pivo Frag, 61-month of subbing. Gold Seraph, 10-month. Love B2W, we love our Seraph. Paperson for the 25-month, since it's a less than 3. Much love, everybody. The match Reno still stands at 3,666. We are approaching the 5K, slowly but steady. You guys can chip in. We, of course, are very grateful for your support here as well. Can subscribe here on Twitch. You can throw us a donation with PayPal, credit card, cryptocurrency as well. All the links in the description. You can visit our sponsor CORSAIR, who is also helping us out with this little raffle that we have over at Gleam. ! Giveaway, everybody. For the special W3Champions Season 7 finals, we have a giveaway for all of you. You can win the brand new CORSAIR HS80 wireless premium gaming headset. That is the main prize for sure. CORSAIR Saber mouse also up for grabs, as well as 5 Warcraft 3 Reforged keys. All you gotta do is open that Gleam! ! Giveaway, click a couple of Twitter accounts and Facebook pages and home pages, check out CORSAIR's products, check out W3Champions homepage, check out our socials, and then you're in for the raffle, just like 1,550 people has done before you. And of course, we are celebrating W3Champions, the best server there is. And before we go into a little break and into the winner bracket semi-final, I want to know from Remo and CArson, name one thing that you like most about W3Champions.
I know what Remo's going to say. Remo, I'll say what I think you'll say, and you say what you think I would say, okay? This is what Remo's going to say. Legion TD ladder. Remo Demo loves himself Legion TD. He loves it. It's his favorite custom game. Not only does he grind some undead ladder at night, he loves his Legion TD. So that's what Remo Demo would say. Remo, what would I say? What would I say?
God damn, I was about to say that, by the way. Not bad, not bad. What you want to say, what you would say if it was there already, is automated tournaments.
You know me so well. Exactly. Yes. I love me some automated tournaments, and that's what I would love to see in the future. And of course, I just love the ladder. I'm myself. I like to grind up the ladder. I'm all about the ranks. I'm all about those numbers. I like seeing my name go up a list. That's what I'm all about, man. I like a ladder. I like a ladder, and I love automated tournaments to see my name maybe get to the end of a bracket for the first time in my entire life, because not one for winning tournaments, that's for sure.
All right, everybody. We had some beta testing with automated tournaments already. It's certainly something that's on the list, but the team is lacking the manpower to complete that. These guys have jobs, have families, and all their free time is going into War3Champions. You can help them out if you're a developer or if you have a little time to take other tasks off of them. We need to make this team bigger because they bring us so many features and there's so much to do for this team. So how can you help War3Champions? First of all, come and say hello. Join the Discord. There's a great community behind War3Champions. A lot of help going on there as well. And if you want to join the team, we need people who can do social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just grab information from the team channel and put them into a news so more people are aware of what's happening and what's improving currently at War3Champions. We also need volunteers that help with the moderation and review reports, because unlike in Battle.net, you can report flamers and people who don't behave well. And there's, of course, human person behind the project who review all these reports and take action. You could be one of them, which is one of the most important jobs in the entire community, I gotta say. Shout out to Miyagi and Lady Risa, I think, who are behind this. We also need some coders for JavaScript, .NET developers. We need graphic artists. We need jQuery programmers. We also need people who are familiar with network technology and especially Rust to make our servers even better. And if you feel that this could be something for you, join the War3Champions Discord. The link is in our chat. I don't know the bot, I guess W3C support or something. It's definitely on the War3Champions homepage in the upper right. And with that little advertisement here, I hope I got some people to join the team. We go into a 5-minute break, and then it's time for the winner bracket final in Happy versus HawK. See you in a bit.